Hi friends and fellow Earth Angels, it's Gladys and welcome back to another one of my Pick a Pile readings. And this one will be themed Messages from Loved Ones in Spirit for the month of September. We had some really beautiful messages for the one in August, some really great comments and positive feedback. So I'm going to continue with these themed Pick a Pile readings. I am going to shuffle and pull all the cards on camera. So if you do not care to watch that part, you can skip ahead. I have timestamps in the description below, along with my website if you'd like to learn more about me and my story, or if you would like to book a private session with me. Sessions are available through phone, Skype, or video chat, and in office sessions in my office in Rumford, Rhode Island. The cards that I chose to work with this month again is the Talking to Heaven deck. I will also get additional messages from the Butterfly Oracle deck. I will pull messages from the Daily Guidance from your angels, crystal angels, and then I'll finish with what your loved one wants for you with the Soulful Woman Oracle deck. All right, friends. So let me start and open up space, inviting in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light who would like to assist with this guidance for you today. I'm going to also ask that they escort in your loved ones into that highest vibration of unconditional love, to bring you messages that are going to comfort you, support you, teach you, and inspire you. Keeping in mind, this is a general reading, so not all parts of the reading may resonate, so take in what feels like it fits with you. If you are watching this and you feel like they could be messages for someone you love, please share this video. And let's begin. All right, so connecting with loved ones who chose pile 1. What message do you have for them? Pile 1. Let me see. Here we go. Pile 1. And pile 2. Messages do you have for loved ones who chose pile 2? And messages for loved ones who chose pile 3. Alright. And Butterfly. What additional messages do you have for those who chose pile 1? Additional message for those who chose pile 2. Whoa. And additional messages for those who chose pile 3. And what guidance do you have? Guidance do you have for those who chose pile 1? They're getting a little more active. and guidance for those who chose pile 2. Guidance for those who chose pile 3. And a message of healing. A message of healing for those who chose pile 1. I'm going to go with these 2 because they're sticking out. Message of healing for those who chose pile 2. Message of healing for those who chose pile 3. They want for you. What is their blessing, wish, desire for you? Those who chose pile 1. Let's go with this one. And what is their wish for you? Their desire for you? Those who chose pile 2. And finally, those who chose pile 3, what is their wish? Desire for you, pile 3. So there are 3 for this one. We'll take all 3 see how it unfolds. All right, friends, let me see here. Just get these organized. Get them nice and straight for you. Okay. And giving you a moment, if you've followed me up until this point, again, connecting with your heart. Maybe as I was choosing, a number jumped out to you. All right, so let me begin. All right, so for those of you who chose pile 1, welcome. Let's begin. So their message to you is, I am just a thought away. And additional message is seeking and finding. Their guidance is have confidence. And the message says, moving forward does not necessarily require you to have confidence in yourself. Confidence in God is enough, along with knowing that God works through you and with you in all ways. Lean upon us if your confidence wavers, and we will buoy your courage and faith. This is such a beautiful reading so far. And then Crystal Angel's messages was Jade, and the message says wellness. The recovery of health and wellness is here. And Diamond, value your self-worth. You are God's precious gem. And then finally, what they wish for you was in the flow. When I am in the flow, magic happens. All right, so let me start with I am just a thought away and seeking and finding. For those of you who chose pile 1, you may be in a place where you're feeling disconnected from your loved one or unable to feel them. I feel like this message is coming from your loved one to validate that they hear you. There's this seeking and finding here message, and I'm feeling like your loved ones are aware of your thoughts and feelings. I'm also getting a message that some of you who are watching this reading may be doubting the signs that you're getting, and that's where the have confidence comes in. Have confidence in your own intuition. So loved ones, when they come in with signs, they're going to come in based on the way their personality was. So if your loved one is like an analytic, logic, reason, seeing is believing kind of person, or if you're that type of person, chances are you're going to get signs more to leaning towards numbers on a license plate, birthday numbers, anniversaries of a passing or a special date. You may see those numbers on a license plate. You may see them on a clock. You may also see their initials on a license plate. You'd be amazed at when you're in the present moment and you're aware how many signs can be around you. If you're a person that works with numbers, they can come up in that way. I can't even tell you how many clients and people I know who have messaged me receipts or brought receipts to me that had significant numbers if they were paying for something and the way it added up. Those are all ways that you can connect with your loved one. They're not gone. I think one of the things that loved ones always say to me is, tell my loved one that I'm still here. I'm not gone or lost. And you may be in that place where you're feeling lost, or you may be even feeling because of this loss disconnected to yourself. It could have been a child that you lost. It could have been a significant other. It could have been a best friend. And now, like, when you're living life with people like that who are close to you, it's like you're a whole unit and a team working together. And when part of that team is missing, it's very common to feel lost. And so your loved one is letting you know that they're just a thought away. All you have to do is bring your vibration or say their name, call on them for assistance. You know, as a medium, I connect with many different kinds of loved ones in spirit, and the messages come in so many different ways. But I can tell you, the readings have always been the most powerful with clients who have come in who call on their loved ones for assistance or ask for them regularly. Even if your loved one has been gone for 20 or 30 years, you can still feel that loss and unable to connect and feel whole. So I feel like the message here, once again, is like, have confidence. Moving forward does not necessarily require to have confidence in yourself. So if you're being guided to move forward, maybe you lost a significant other and you're being guided to move forward and you're wondering if your loved one would agree or be happy about it. Have confidence in yourself, and also to have confidence in your loved ones. You know, your loved one might be sending you another partner, another friend, another way to care for another person, to make you feel comforted and make you or support you in feeling connected. The other part of the message is confidence in God is enough, along with knowing that God works through you and with you in all ways. So I feel like this is a message for some of you who may be feeling lost and alone. Know that God is there with you and your loved one is just a thought away. And really sometimes it's just a matter of being open to that idea. Jesus, said, all you need to do is have faith the size of a mustard seed. And with that, wellness can come in. The recovery of health and wellness is here. First off, I feel like your loved one is telling you that if they had passed away from an illness, if they passed away from so for me, I'm seeing like lots of medications. I'm seeing lots of support. Maybe there were nurses that needed to come in and out, or maybe there was intense hospice care. I'm seeing a loved one or loved ones who may have been on heavy medications. And I feel like this message is coming in to let you know that they're free, that they're no longer in pain. I'm literally seeing those brown orange prescription bottles, and I'm seeing them, and this could be a message for some of you specifically. I'm actually seeing them like in a case. So maybe your loved one had a case or a carry case of pills that may have gone with pain, that may have gone with treatment, that may anti-nausea. Again, I don't know where this is all coming from, but I feel like the Archangel Raphael is also stepping in, and Raphael is continuing to assist your loved one in their healing process. And there's this idea of like being nauseous or nausea, and I feel like your loved one is saying that is all gone now. And finally, value your self-worth. You are God's precious gem. So this may be a message for somebody who lost a loved one and you didn't feel like you did enough, or maybe you didn't know what you were doing. A lot of times when somebody is very ill, their families have to step in, or their support system have to step in and give them the medications and the treatments. And more often than not, if you're not a nurse, you always question, did I do enough? Did I do it right? Did I escalate it? Could they have been here longer? And I feel like your loved one is saying your support to them was as precious as a diamond. And they want you to value your self-worth and how valuable you were in that person's life. And they are so grateful for your support. I get like rapid thoughts here and images, and I feel like this for somebody out there is for maybe a daughter who lost her father. And you did so much for him. And again, maybe there were medications involved. I feel like maybe this was a father who was sick. And again, this is not the whole entire reading. This is just what I'm getting right now for somebody specifically who's watching this. And your father wants you to remember your own self-worth and self-esteem and take care of yourself. He wants you to believe in yourself. You may have started something, education. You might have started a business. You might have started a new career. You may have started something new and you're wondering if your dad would be proud of you, and he's saying yes. This also could be a husband or a boyfriend as I go into extended, and they want you to see how beautiful and radiant you are. And then this message of flow here. In the flow, when I am in the flow, magic happens. So this may be a message for some of you who have maybe been feeling lost. I don't know where to put this. Here we go. Maybe put this here. I don't know. Sorry, I'm kind of like out of room here. So maybe this is a message for being in the flow again, maybe in the swing of things or getting in the groove. So for those of you who chose this reading and you're feeling like blocked, or you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling like you can't move forward. And it's not about letting go, getting over, and moving on, no matter how long your loved one has been gone. I feel like getting back into the swing of things, getting back into those things that you're enjoying or have had enjoyed in the past. Sometimes it's just getting creative. Maybe it's pulling out a coloring book. Maybe it's doing a puzzle, kind of sparking that energy to get your mind off of things and allowing the healing process to unfold. Some of you, I'm getting a message, might have been like feeling like you couldn't budge or feeling stuck. And I feel like this is coming in to remind you to get into the flow again, movement. This doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to start throwing things away or cleaning things out, but there may be areas of things that you can start with, which can also bring up like really good memories. I feel like those who chose this pile, your loved ones, want you to, especially if this was an illness, a heavy illness, and again, you weren't sure if you did the right thing, and it's really kind of rocked your self-esteem. I feel like your loved one is coming in and saying, those images can be unfortunately like imprinted on your mind, and your loved one is saying, I want you to remember the good times, the laughter, the fun. I feel like maybe your loved one here may have been funny or may have been like had a weird sense of humor, a dry sense of humor. And those are the way your loved ones are going to come in. So, I was saying earlier that if your, person or you is more analytical, the numbers and initials on license plates are going to come up. But yet, if your loved one is like whimsical and creative and imaginative, or you are that, the messages are going to come in with, you may see a face in the sky in the clouds. You may see pictures. You might see heart rocks. You might see something that may be symbolic of your loved one. For example, if they smoked cigarettes, or packs of cigarettes could keep coming up. And if that's something that brings you sadness, you can ask them to come in another way. But once they know they're able to reach you through a specific sign, it'll happen over and over and over again. Loved ones tell me how often signs come in and it's funny and it's dry, or it's almost like they can hear their voices in the back of their mind. So that's that part of have confidence in what you're getting, and that they're just a thought away and they're available to you. Loved ones don't just disappear. They're part of just a different vibration. It's kind of like a radio station. A radio station has many different frequencies, and based on what you want to listen to, you tune into, right? You want rock and roll, you want country, you want light rock, you want classical. All you have to do is like change the channel and shift the vibration. So my prayer for doing these types of readings is just to tune you into a different frequency so that you can connect as well. I believe I have a gift. I believe God gifted me with the spiritual gift of being able to connect with people's loved ones, to connect with people's soul mission, but I don't believe it's something that we all have the ability to do on some level. And my job is to kind of be a beacon of light to open that channel and then empower you to go and continue in that channel, and that gets the flow moving. That gets the energy moving again. So if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling burdened, or you're feeling like trouble with the self-esteem and worth and value, and did I do enough? I feel like this is validation, and your loved one is saying, I am healed. I am healthy now on the other side, and I want to gift you with being able to support you here on this earth. Wow, that was beautiful. All right. So for those of you who chose pile 1, thank you for watching. If you watched this pile and it didn't resonate with you, I encourage you to check out pile 2 or pile 3. You could have watched this for like a sign for somebody else, or if you were watching this and you feel like the messages could connect with somebody you know, please share this with them. And I thank you for watching. And those who chose pile 2, welcome. And what your loved one wants you to know: I'm sorry, please forgive me. This message really needed to come out, number 2 friends. When I was shuffling the deck, this card fell out. And I had asked if it was an important message for somebody to come back. And here it is, pile 2. And I have to say, the number 2 represents I have faith. I have faith. I have confidence in yourself. Believe. If you lost a loved one to an addiction, and again, it's a general reading, so not everybody who chose pile 2 will have lost a loved one from an addiction. But I'm getting that message right now that if you lost somebody through an addiction or an accidental overdose or a suicide, I feel like their message is, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And I'm being drawn to the hands here, and I feel like they need you to know that they are in God's hands, that they made it to heaven, that they're in God's hands, and they're going through their healing process. So additional messages, there were 2 butterfly cards here. One says leaving, and the other self-employment. I'm just channeling the messages here. So again, I feel really strongly that this pile is connected to somebody or people who lost loved ones to addiction, overdose, accidental overdose, or suicide. I feel like this is where we're going with this reading. If this does not resonate with you, please, I choose pile 1 or 3. It doesn't mean you got it wrong. Maybe you were guided here for a reason and there's a friend or something that you could share this with, but they're leaving here. The message about leaving and self-employment. So I've been working with in mediumship for 12 years now, meaning I've been channeling people's loved ones on a regular basis for 12 years. And as I do, I see patterns. And there are repetitive messages that always come in different ways. So every single person's reading is unique and different, but an overall theme can happen. So there's this self-employment message here and leaving. It is an epidemic. I'm just really trying to choose my words carefully here. It is an epidemic. Addiction, mental illness is an epidemic, if that's the right word I want to use. It brings a lot of shame to the person and to the family. And you need to know, those of you who are watching Pile 2 and this is resonating with you, you need to know it's unfortunately a very common thing. People struggling with prescription, opioids, drugs, heavy drugs, alcohol, mental illness, varying degrees. There's so much shifting happening on this planet, and I have no doubt those who are struggling with addiction are also earth angels, highly sensitive, empathic, intuitives, healers. The earth angel collective, from what I've seen, a lot have experienced shock and trauma in a lot of ways in upbringing. and being a sensitive person, those experiences can get so deeply rooted in the psyche that without intense therapy and healing, it's really hard for people to overcome. As we say so often, don't blame the addict, blame the addiction, right? It's not something that they can help and they can just stop. And the point of all this is I am seeing your loved ones on the other side who are transitioning, who are part of an assignment. They're part of an assignment to shift things here on this planet. So for example, I channel my messages from a higher source. The messages I get don't come from me. So and I work with my guardian angels and guides, and I work with my team of people to channel messages to support you in a healing process. Now, those of you who have lost loved ones to mental illness, suicide, overdoses, addictions, things like that, heavy, they are now on self-employment. And they are joining a force, a collective of energy that is working with rehab facilities, counselors, healers, mental health professionals. They are now assigned to so this person is almost like the energy is they've left here, this planet, and they can do more on the other side to help others. And so it's been a repetitive message, and I ask you just to be open to this, just a fraction, because this can really help you in your grieving process. Now, this doesn't mean that you will not be able to connect with your loved one. It does not mean that they're going to be gone, but they're on assignment. They're joining this collective because their bodies underwent an experience on this planet that they can now report on the other side and work with a collective of people who have a desire and a need to channel books, to come up with new healing programs. And I feel like I'm really speaking to a younger generation. So you may have been guided to this because you lost a friend, a friend who's like a millennial, in that vibration, or somebody who was childlike in a lot of ways. But also too could have been like an old soul, but maybe they were youthful and they just got enveloped with this addiction and this mental illness here on this planet. Now, I have to say, please, it's almost like I want to erase the shame or the hiding or the guilt from this experience. It's hard to understand why souls go through what they go through, but sometimes souls come here to have an experience on Earth so that they can do more on the other side. And I feel like that's where the self-employment energy came in. So their guidance for you, it says shower of abundance. And the message here says to heal your financial situation, first give us your worries concerning money. We will guide you in order to show you how to create and accept abundance. As we work together, your financial situation will heal as fast as you'll allow. So for some of you, I feel like maybe your loved one left you or left their family with a financial burden. Could have been medical bills, could have been debt. And I feel like this is validation that they know, they're sorry, and they're gonna do what they can to help you. As we work together, your financial situation will heal as fast as you'll allow. So I feel like your loved one is saying that they can do more on the other side that they could have done here. And they want to shower this abundance to you. So Archangel Raphael is the angel who works with finances. So maybe you've needed to ask people, or maybe you've started a collection fund to be able to, again, if this was, to support family, to support children who were left behind, to support, like I said, bills. It's not a shameful thing to be open to support. And I'm going to ask, if this is a situation for some of you watching this reading, I'm going to ask Archangel Raphael. His color is emerald green, and he's the angel of healing, angels of miracles. And I feel like you may be in a situation where you need that miracle right now. So I am going to ask Archangel Raphael to surround you with his emerald green healing light, to raise your vibration, to bless you abundantly. So you may fall into some extra money. You may be guided to tell your story and receive support from that. Money may come in ways that you don't expect. So all I ask is for you to just open up your heart to the possibility of financial support coming in many different ways. And I feel like your loved one is saying, I'm sorry I left you with this mess. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm working on the other side to make it better. Also, too, with this leaving card, I feel like it's a message like I had to leave. It was my time. Even though it doesn't make sense. I feel like it would have been harder on everybody had they continued to stay. So let's see what the angel's message is, though. Turquoise. And the message says, spiritual path. Your true beliefs are becoming clearer to you, which prompts you to make necessary life changes. So the spiritual path here, I'm getting like this, I feel like this is maybe your loved one's, one of their messages is this is part of their spiritual path. And I understand that it's a very hard concept to understand when you're in that grief and anger and disbelief. And I feel like this message is coming to you now so that you can have some deeper understanding as why. I don't expect you to completely resonate with it right now, but let this just kind of seep into your heart a little bit so that you can have some freedom knowing that your loved one, it's not like they just get a free pass and they're like, oh, I stirred up all this stuff and now I'm gone resting in peace, haha. Like, it is not like that at all. This is a validation that this was part of their spiritual path, and it's yours too. So those of you who are left behind have a mission too. You have a mission to share your story. You may have a mission to join a volunteer program. You may have a mission to live your best life because your loved one couldn't. These are all things that can come up with this type of loss. And then finally, their desire for you, their hope for you is fearless self-love. So the message says, whenever I choose to love myself, no matter the circumstances surrounding me, I am practicing fearlessness. What a powerful card. Powerful. So I feel like your loved one is saying that they may have struggled with self-love. They may have struggled with their own worth and value. And they want you to be fearless in self-love. I'm just noticing the number here. We have 22. See the 22 here? 22. It's like 222. Again, have faith. Everything's going to be okay. So again, you're maybe guided to this reading right now because you feel like you're looking at a massive brick wall, and maybe it's a financial, maybe it's emotional, maybe it's a burden of like taking care of children or parents, or like they said, the financial burden that this person has left behind. And I feel like the message is like, have faith. Have faith in yourself. Trust in the power of the divine to help you, to support you, to move forward in this journey. Again, it's all part of a spiritual path. You know, and I also encourage you to I also encourage you, I mean, I leave these cards out as I'm talking, but I encourage you to pause the video and sit with the messages, because you can get so much more for yourself specifically. I feel like my role is to get the energy moving and share the messages for those who are just brand new to this and don't even know where to begin. But for this pile with the heavy of the twos coming out and the I'm sorry, please forgive me, the financial stuff, this is part of the person's spiritual path. It's part of your spiritual path. Also, too, this fearless self-love, that means like embrace your life, embrace the gift that you have here of life. If you lost a friend to this, it's almost like your friend wants you to know like how lucky you are to be able to live on this planet, to live free, to be able to live joyously, to be able to live happily. Don't let their passing stop you from living your best life. And I think this is where this fearless self-love comes in. Design, create, travel, have experiences, and bring your loved one with you. Share the story. Again, you may be guided to, as I asked Archangel Raphael to bless your life. You may be guided to people, places, things, ideas where you can share your story or talk about a friend. I'm also getting the message not to bottle all this up inside. Some of you, it's almost like kind of like a champagne bottle where like it's all being like bottled up and that cork can burst. So receive support or be open to receiving support. Maybe just you getting here and listening to this message is part of that support for you. Wow. All right. So I'm going to leave those messages there. And those of you who chose pile 2, thank you so much for watching. And if this didn't necessarily resonate with you, but you have somebody that you know that could benefit, please share this message with them. Thanks for watching. And for those of you who chose pile 3, welcome. I almost feel like before I even begin, one of the messages that I want to share for you that I'm hearing in my mind is you're not alone. You're not alone. God, the angels, your loved ones are with you. Okay, so it says, we are so connected. As I just got that message, you're not alone. So this may be a message for some of you who are feeling disconnected from your loved one or you haven't felt them. I also see the bubbles here, and it's kind of for me symbolic, like they're sending you and surrounding you in a bubble of love right now. Sometimes with grief, it can be so heavy that we can't feel our loved ones, or we're not able, or we're feeling like we're not getting signs from them. So I feel like your loved one is saying we are so connected, and it's almost like I see a golden energy a golden energy cord from your heart to their heart, and it can never be severed. You can never cut cords of love. So I feel like your loved one is saying, I have been surrounding you in a bubble of love. So the butterfly message, the extended message, is healthcare change. So I'm just pausing while I just listen here. Again, it's a general reading, so it may not, the whole reading may not resonate with everybody, but I'm feeling somebody's loved one who maybe didn't take care of their health, maybe diabetes, maybe they really liked sweets, or I'm also getting an energy of maybe somebody, and again, these are like multiple loved ones that are like rapid fire. I feel like maybe loved ones that are coming in who may have had heart problems, triple, quadruple bypass surgeries, heart stuff. stuff because they didn't eat properly with like maybe heavy fatty foods, like greasy foods. Maybe it was fast food specifically. But this is kind of the energy that I'm channeling right now. I tried to, the last two readings too, I felt like I tapped into a collective of vibration, and I feel like I'm getting the same thing with this one. And so I feel like your loved one is saying that, your loved one's kind of joking and saying like God made them like have like a healthcare change on the other side, and they have to take care of themselves, take care of their soul now. So again, this is specifically maybe for loved ones who lost loved ones to like unhealthy habits. Again, I see cardiac, heart stuff, diabetes is another thing that I see, and they're being forced to make some healthcare changes, and they're kind of laughing about it. And again, I know this isn't a laughing matter, but if your loved one's funny or they were going to make a joke, they're going to do it. So again, take it in as it resonates. And again, they're saying we are so connected. I am here with you. Also, too, I feel like this may be a message for you to make some healthcare changes. So if the first part didn't resonate with you, I want to shift it and say your loved one may be seeing that you're not taking care of yourself. Maybe you're the one who is not eating healthy or drinking your water, or you're letting yourself go because of the grief. And I feel like your loved one is coming in and saying, I love you so much, and it's important that you make the healthcare change, especially if, this is family, if it's like a parent or a child, or, there's so much generational stuff and eating habits, like cultural, like the Portuguese and the Italian, heavy cultural like beliefs around like food and eating. And we don't live in a world where the food was like it was 50 years ago. There's been a lot of genetically modified foods, and there's a lot of changes and additives and preservatives to preserve a shelf life for food. And so again, unless you're making your own pasta, unless you're making your own breads and sweets, these products that are on the market right now are not healthy. And you may have fallen into that trap, from the grief of losing your loved one. So again, on the other end, this could be the reverse. So their guidance for you says, let your past go. So the message says, the burden of carrying your past around has made you weary, dear one. It's time to set this burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love, and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and it's gone now. Wow. Beautiful messages. So what I'm getting with this is the burden of guilt. If you did lose a loved one to a health issue like cardiac problems or diabetes, or an illness that may have been prevented with better like lifestyle changes, and maybe you're carrying the guilt, I feel like your loved one wants to relieve you of that. And that could be it could be that emotional energy that's leading you to make poor health choices with food, or recklessness as well. And so I feel like that's where they're saying the burden of carrying your past around has made you weary. And this message is coming into you now because your loved one can see that you're tired and sad and drained. It's time to set this burden down. Can keep only the lessons and love, and leave everything else behind. I just got a visual of that burden cord being severed. Now, you can't cut cords of love, And I think that's where this comes and says we are so connected that they're feeling you. They're feeling and seeing you having these experiences here. And they don't want this for you. This also could be a message if you lost, maybe you lost a parent who didn't take care of themselves, or maybe you lost a child who didn't take care of their health. This could also be, I'm also feeling like you might have a sibling or you might have another parent that's going down that road. And this is a message for them as well. Tell them that your loved one wants them to get better, wants them to have a better quality of life. Ego, without understanding it, can be a vicious thing. People can fall into the trap of like, that's not going to happen to me. That'll never happen to me. Another thing that I'm getting here is smoking. So if somebody, like I said, was a smoker and maybe they passed away from lung issues. Again, it's all in the chest. And so that could be another thing that maybe another loved one is going down that path. And this is coming to you now to maybe share this with them or try to support them, but also understand that, everybody is on their own spiritual path. And a lot of times people have to find their own way. So put the burden down of now saving this other person, or put that burden down of, the guilt that you're carrying and the fear that maybe you have. Maybe you've been obsessive about your own health, and your loved one saying, we're so connected and I can see the intensity of how this has affected you, or how you're watching it happen to another loved one, and they want to release you of that burden. So you can call on the Archangel Michael and ask the Archangel Michael to assist in relieving these burdens. Jesus is another incredible healer that you can call on for assistance with this. So the angel card is citrine. It says unnecessary worries. I love it. It says release the burden of worries by giving them to God for healing and solutions. Friends, those of you who are watching this is an exclamation point. So if you doubted me up until this point, or you doubted the messages, or sometimes they're just hard to hear, sometimes it's like we're in denial, I feel like this citrine is like an exclamation point. Unnecessary worries. Release the burden of worries. Again, we have burden in this card, burden in this card. Again, I see like the burden of guilt. Should I have done more? Could I have done more? And like I said, free will, a lot of times it's not worth fighting with somebody all the time. If they're going to do what they're going to do. People are going to go their own way, and I feel like that's where these messages are coming in. We have the heart of the dove here. This is the Holy Spirit energy. Citrine is very a beautiful cleansing, healing stone as well. Let me see here. I want to look up that. I want to look up that real quick here in the book. I feel like there is another message that I need to channel here. Okay, so about citrine, it is named for the French word for lemon. Citrine is a yellow quartz crystal that offers the energy of happiness, of crystallized sunshine. So again, if you're feeling the burdens, if you're feeling the heaviness, again, if you're not taking care of yourself, or your loved one passed away from not caring for themselves, I feel like the guidance may be to get some citrine and sit with it. It can help shift your energy into that energy of happiness. It says this card comes to you as a sign of needless worry, which God and your guardian angels are helping you to release. And I understand it's easier said than done. So this is why God and the angels are coming to you now, saying that we can assist you. All you have to do is be open to receiving support. Again, I cannot pass up Jesus. I got to mention him again. And when I think about him and the idea of him carrying the cross, it was like that was like the world's burden that he carried on his shoulder for us so that we don't have to, so that we can live a life with peace and joy and happiness. And again, I know people are going to go their own way, but suffering isn't how we're meant to live here on this planet. And so I feel like your loved ones, Jesus, the Archangel Michael, the Archangel Raphael, all these beings of light who have been coming in and out of these readings are coming in to say, let us help you, be open to support. And then, this is right. There was 3 messages here. These 3 are like what their wishes are for you. What their desire is for your loved one. Embracing change. Here we are with this. It says, with every loss, I understand that something new is about to be birthed beyond what I can imagine. So you had this experience, and if you've been finding yourself stuck or lost in this space, I feel like your loved one is saying, embracing the change. And again, with every loss, understand that something new is about to be birthed beyond what you can imagine. So this may be a message that there may be about to be a turn of events, that there might be a change or a shift that's coming. The other message, again, it's validation for these messages I've been channeling, the power of support. It says, I am grateful for all the love and support I receive. It's the most precious of life's gifts. So this is your loved one saying, like, I see you. I understand what's going on. I understand what you're carrying here. I want sunshine and joy in your life. I want to bring this energy into your life. Embrace the change. Again, we may not like it. The whole grieving process is about getting to that space of acceptance. We may not like where we're at, but if you can get to the space of acceptance, like, okay, this is where I am, and from that place you can begin to move forward one step at a time. Not let go, get over, move on, move forward one step at a time. And this is where this embracing change comes in, and then the power of support. This reading could be the beginning of support for you, and being open to it and what it feels like to allow support in. You don't have to suffer in silence anymore, and all you have to do is ask Jesus, ask God to bring you supportive people that can help you on your journey. And then the final card here, it says inner wellspring. It says, I have an inner wellspring of love that luxuriously overflows with abundance. I feel like right here is your loved one knows and sees how much love you have in your heart. And this experience may have shut it down a little bit. And so they're saying, allow that energy to overflow. Maybe you'll join a group. Maybe you'll be guided to a volunteer program, a network of people that you can support based on your own experiences with your journey with your loved one. And also, too, I want to mention that the number 3 here is a sign from your loved one. So you may have chose this pile because it specifically connects you with a loved one. So I also want to mention that if you start seeing the number 3, it is more validation that this reading and these messages are what you need to hear. Especially if you're struggling with the burden of, could I have done more? Should I? The have-tos. And then also to making adjustments for yourself. The 3 is going to be a reminder for you that you're not alone, that that's a support for you, that the universe and the angels and the divine is supporting you. So embrace these changes that you're about to embark on. This could be you getting healthy. This could be you saying, okay, this message is finally for me to start taking care of my health, to get into a program, a network, be involved. Now, this doesn't mean like if you are physically struggling, this is not a message that says go on a diet. This does not mean join intense programs where you're sacrificing your quality of life and eating poorly, how do I want to say this? This is not a message if health is a factor and you've been carrying the emotional weight of this loss. This is not your loved one saying you have to go on a diet. Please do not misinterpret this. This is talking about your quality of life getting better. Please do not invest in programs that are going to severely limit your foods, your calories. This is not a message to go on intense workout programs. Those things are not for everybody. Minor adjustments of getting out every day and maybe walking 4 times around a block, or maybe walking up and down your hallway. These are those minor adjustments that you can make. Maybe changing a sugary drink and replacing it with water half of the day. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about for you to sacrifice and go on these extreme programs. That is not it, because it's just going to kind of like, you're going to just end up abusing yourself in another way. So this is gentle. This is ease. This is minor adjustments over a 1 year, 2 year shift, and your loved one will support you and assist you on this journey. All right. And that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, so those of you who chose pile 3, thank you so much for watching. If you watched this and it didn't resonate with you, but another person came up that you think could benefit from this, please share with them. Stay tuned to my channel, like and subscribe. I plan on doing these on a regular basis, and I pray that everybody who watches receives a message in some way, no matter how small. All right, so I'd like to close space by thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light that assisted with this guidance for you today. And also going to ask that any message, any healing that was started continue for as long as it needs to be done, in mind, body, spirit, and emotions in all ways. And if you're still with me up until this point and you're feeling guided to book a private reading, you can do so. The link on my website, the link to my website is below. If you feel guided to an energy exchange or a donation to my channel, the link is also there. And I cannot thank you enough for watching, for subscribing, for liking and sharing this video. It does help me as my channel is relatively new. So if you have not heard it today or in a while, know that I love you, God loves you, trust in the divine, trust your intuition, and I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.